So today we're going to start the first Enjoying Art Masterclass. Brenda?
Hi, my name is Brenda Ray, and I've taken a class with Professor Chen and really love watercolor, and I'm starting to paint pictures for other people, and this is a birthday present. One of the things is that with watercolor, when it's standing up, I'm having a hard time with the water because it keeps dripping, and so then I'm constantly erasing, and then the painting starts to look spotty and I start to get frustrated.
I think from what I'm looking at it now, the tone and the value on the face, the whole picture is a bit too similar. It's not enough punches. We're gonna regroup them. We're gonna looking for this whole area in the shadow. And there's a shadow over here, and there is a triangle shadow over there, and inside over here that is a big triangle as a shadow. And those things, and the light side over here, but the top over here also darker too. So those are value, we're gonna punch it. Like looking at your painting, this triangle is not there. So you have been paid too much attention into correct the small areas and try to make it work. Like the nose, you spend lots of time on the highlight. Spend less attention on to see how to divide the portrait into a few masses areas and focus on the relationship. Should be a little more. If we want to make a portrait look more three-dimensional, it's not in the each areas. It's in how those different areas work and compare together. So the first thing. Second thing, we want to work on the edges. Lots of patrons, they also have issues of how to treat the edges. The edges is maybe in the reference, and maybe not in the reference, and you have to mentally force it to make it work, because the relationship is not come from the reference. The relationship is actually in our mind, how we want the viewer to perceive when they see this. We want the viewer to focus on the tension on the face, so that way, even though in the background it's light over here, right? And the reference is like that. This is a light area. But should we leave it light? That depends on, can we make this light? If we cannot make this light, then probably we're going to make this darker. Or maybe at least we can create some steps through here. So we ease out, because you're looking at here, it does have lots of contrast. More contrast than anything that you have on the face here. So this is the second issues over here too. So can we make this a little bit darker? If we make this darker, then probably the contrast too close together. May be a good idea, maybe a bad idea. So we're gonna play with those elements to see how we're going to get to it. So the first thing let's work on is to do a little adjustment. The adjustment there will be, first we're gonna light up the area supposed to be light. And then we make the area darker, supposed to be darker, to be darker. So we're gonna balance that first before we going into make some adjustment in the background. Let me start with light up the things. It's easy to light it up. This is the paper, is a Strymore 400 series. Use the soft flat brush. It's not going to damage the paper. Let's put a little light area here. You mentioned about the water may strip down, and that usually happen at the beginning when the color is not stable. But after you have the color so stable there, now is the color won't be easily get pushed away, because those color very stable. It's always get into the paper, get into all those fibers. So you don't need to worry too much on that. Even the color stripped down is just, and that's gone, right? So the nose, we're going to have some light when it come back, because the almost the lightest areas is on the nose here, so we can get that out. It's pretty easy to lift up the colors. So focus on what's the lightest. That's good. And then over here too, have a little light over here, and just use the corner of this flat brush. I'm gonna just lift it up like this. If you lift up too much, we can put the color back. And this brush is very soft, so pretty good for the paper. To make this a little bit lighter. And now take a look over here, but this color is light enough for that, so no worry. And this probably a little bit lighter, just touch it. And over here have some area put it light, so I'm gonna just lift up a little color before we start adding color to it. So maybe have a little bit over here too, because you try to see the eyes, the detail of the eye. But in fact, if you are looking at the reference, you are actually invented a lot of details.
Right.
And if you have the person sitting in front of you, you probably can get a lot more detail than looking at from the reference. So inventing may not be a good idea unless you know that person really, really well. So try to pick up the information from the reference. The next thing, we're going to put the color to create a difference. We're going to start from the top. I'm going to mix a little darker color. And I'm going to try to only use the 3 primary colors, but we can also use the burnt sienna. Okay, get a little sienna color. Now we have a little bit color like that. Look at the top, and we need a little bit red colors for the top. Okay, let's see. We're gonna look at it from here. This should be darker like this. So that we see a little light on the edge. We're gonna leave it like this for now. Now coming to this side, similar color. Keep comparing and saying that how the color will look like. And coming through, and then coming into this triangle, we're going to form that triangle over here, maybe a little warmer, so get a little red. Looking for the relationship, and then coming down here, keep looking for where the color relate together. Like, see that there is a big shape on the ear, just cover that before we're going inside.
That cheekbone.
Yeah. Now we're going to get a little bit blue color now. Look at from the side. Okay, coming down here, coming through over here, and under the eye over here. Inside the eye, actually in the shadow. Let's let it put it part of the shadow. And the eye probably need to be closer. The space looks a little bit too much, but we're going to get into the next step, the next level later. So we're going to cover the big area like that. Good. Now coming down over here, also see a little triangle right underneath the lower eyelid, right? That a little darker. I'm going to put it over there. Now on the cheek over here, on the cheekbone that has a little blue colors, just get a little blue colors. That's it. Simple. Just the blue. You see that? All you need is a more blue. Just put the blue color there, and that will be fine. And then over here too, inside the eyeglass frame, have a little bit blue color too. Now come down over here. It has a little red over there. We're gonna put the red later. So keep coming down to see the darker color. And let's mix a little bit darker color to continue coming down the lower part of the face. Now looking for the reference. You see, is that cold or warm? You can find it. Now coming over here, we can try to get that shape back like that. And that's a good shape. Now we can see under the nose. Now we're gonna reform this shadow. And coming over here, connected. The very similar value. Okay, coming over here. And the mouth is dark. Coming over here. It's good. Now getting there. Now underneath the lower lip of the mouth, it also have a shadow shape. So I would like you to think more as shape other than a person, because we cannot recreate a person, but we can recreate a shape pretty easily. Just a matter of a different way of thinking. Like that. Now coming down, and on the neck is very, very dark.
Right.
So we're gonna create a very dark color and use the blue and the red. Pretty simple. Now this is pretty dark. Are you ready? Make that.
Oh, I was afraid of that.
Oh, you're afraid of that. Don't worry. Try it. If it doesn't work, and then we can change it. Okay. Look at that. This is the part. Like this. And this color is similar to that, but I'm not going to put it on right now. We're going to put a little bit color over here, a little color over there, and try to pull the difference between the light and dark colors. We need to find the shape, and a little bit over here too. Okay, it's coming down, and now with the face have a little bit more three-dimensional feeling because of the contrast we add to the painting. Now we can come back from the start from the top, right? And over here you see a little kind of greenish color.
Right.
A little green colors. We got the green color over here. Good. So okay, pay attention to the color, where the color coming from. If you get this color over here, you actually will turn this flat space become turning a little more. We can talk a little more about in the future the portrait basics series about how to use the color and to suggesting the turning of the surface and the turning from one direction turn to the other direction. Okay, and we're going to make this even lighter. When we have this color, we want to show that the light coming from this side, so that means this area facing to that area, not facing to us. So that is another suggestion. So we're gonna lift up this a little bit. When you do lifting, you better use a big and soft brush, otherwise you're gonna make the paper surface hairy really quickly. Okay, now we get the dark color. Now we're going to look at this area, also have a little bit more greenish colors. We're gonna get a little yellow, get a little blue, and we'd make this color look a little bit more green. See that? Yeah. Just thinking about what color that you need on top of the color that you already have, and that's pretty easy. Now we can.
After you do that dark color,
yeah,
you can see the green better.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to add a little red in the inside over here, like this. I want you to think shape, shape, shape all the time. Okay, now I'm going to put a little warm, darker color on the cheek because right now it looks very light. So I'm going to put this red color, just a little red color, put it over there, like this. And also a little bit over here too, similar color. And also the nose on this side. And like this. And down here also actually have a lot more blue right here. And this can be a little darker. Okay. And we're working on the lip pretty soon to give it a little bit more red. like this. So this area, and looks like I have a little bit more brownish colors. So I'm gonna get this in with a little bit yellow. Let's see, we're going to overlay a little color in here. Yeah, that's good. Color mixed together. Now coming down to the chin. The chin has basically a cool color and quite a bit of green color. Yeah. I'll take this color with this and this. What do you need? Here you go. Maybe darker. Like this. A little bit darker, like that. And like this. Looks okay. Now you can see we're going to do the second round of shadow pretty soon. See that after this getting dry, it's not that dark. Now maybe you're going to take this moment to working into the edges, and then we can come back to the face.
Okay.
So we try to keep to work on the bigger relationship first before we go into like a look into the eye, look at the glass frame. That will be later. So let's see. Let's put some dark color on the dress first. Okay, that's over here. Color over here, and touching the face like this, and come through over here like this. This is the dress. There you go. Now coming to the outside, and this is probably not really so light.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, can brush through it. You still can see a little lighter than the other area. They're probably good enough. Now I'm going to continue onto the other side of the dress, right, like this.
So you're using a lot of paint?
You want to create enough contrast so that we can tell the story.
Okay.
Like say this is higher, this is lower, this is the focal point, this is a little bit more supporting, direct the attention to the area that we want them to look at.
Oh, okay.
On this side, this is very light. However, you see lots of texture over here. The texture also could distract from looking at the face, because the light area, if I make it less light, make it darker, dim it down, the tension won't go over there. Sometimes you just keep a few brushes through it, and then people get the sense of, yeah, that is not important.
Okay.
Right? So sometimes big brushes in actually help to organize the areas that is not that important.
Oh, so
right?
I'm making everything important.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you have to relax a bit. Your mind has to control the message you're going to put in the paper. The color that you put on the paper with contrast, they actually would pass on to the viewer, and they were assuming that is important, because you see all those details.
Right.
Whoa, it must be important. But however, in that case, the people more time spending on here, less time will be on the face.
Okay.
Right. Let's continue over here. That I'm gonna group the dress together. I'm gonna group it together with a dark tone. You're gonna see. I'm gonna have it really quickly mix the dark color. Here you go. And let the color coming down. It's okay. All I need to do is to make this group together and make it become less important. You can see the portrait master like John Singer Sargent and other portrait artists, they have lots of areas kind of masking out with dark colors or loose brush work and become less important. And this is very good, like over here. This kind of thinking apply to any medium. Can be oil, can be watercolor, doesn't really matter. It could be the same look.
Okay.
Right? Now, is this dim down? This feeling that the tension more on the face.
I see.
Right.
It just pops out.
It's already, because this is the only place, and retain this lots of variations. There's no variation down here, but there's a little bit flat. So we need to suggest that the body add a little bit more rounded. So we need to add a little bit detail, a little bit darker colors. Like over here, I'm gonna make a little darker color, and maybe over here have a little suggestion that's a little bit more rounded. Okay. And maybe they're coming down, maybe on this side, have a little bit darker color. But it's just a little suggestion that the body is rounded. That's all we try to say. We don't want to let the people looking at, oh, there's some texture over here and there. Like could be like that. Now we're gonna looking into the relationship, because that is a loss of contrast. That is quite a bit of a contrast too. Photographs serve as a reference. You are the creator of the artwork, so we cannot actually pass the excuse to the photo reference.
Okay.
If you have to, take 2 reference, 3 reference, 3 reference, and maybe 10, 20 different references, and pick the elements that you need and put it on in the painting, because it is your creation.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes you have to take references that is not using that person. I did a portrait painting of someone who's already passed away, and only have half of the shoulder. I want to add another shoulder to the painting, but that's the only photo reference I got. So what you can do is use a self or use someone similar body build to take another photograph in the same lighting. So you always find a way to make the final artwork look better. Not because of the reference limitation, right?
Okay.
So now over here, we're gonna make that color a little bit dimmer, this color very bright, and maybe a little bit, also a little bit darker tone too. I'm gonna take this color, the burnt sienna, and mix with this color to see how it looks. Now I'm gonna dip it down a little bit, and maybe a good idea to have this side of the face close the value of the background, so it may be have less attention onto this side of the face. So I'm gonna have a little bit going through over here. Let it create some step and have it closer in the value and create some transitions. But at the same time, I'm going to have the color connect up to. And maybe a good idea to have some warm color here too, because the warm color will help the cool color stand out a little bit more. And let's have the color. Going through over here. And we're gonna see how it's gonna come out after you dry. Maybe get a little yellow color in it. It's just I'm gonna blend in the yellow color in here. Let's see how it's gonna look. Squinting your eye is important, so you can see how the things look together. On this side,
and you soften the edge that
way
too.
So on the top over here, am I going to just soften this and a little bit first, and then before I'm going to think about it, put maybe other color in here. Not what color that would be. But let's try this a little colder color. But this change a little bit sudden, so I might be also going to have the warm color here too, and maybe going through over here. And sometimes it's just a couple brushes and have it blending through, and probably actually create less attention. The wet in wet technique is really help to get the things fade away or soft and become in the distance. Like over here, you can maybe not so much, so dark. I'm gonna have it a little lighter. I want to eat the ear stand out a little bit, like that. And then we're going to keep that texture. And something going on in the background. I don't know what is it. It could be outdoor, it could be indoor. And maybe we're going to keep that. Over here, I'm going to definitely want to put a little bit color, a little bit darker. But I don't want to introduce too much contrast either. So with that kind of step up, a little soften, like this, it maybe ease out the contrast, right? Like this. So now it's we just done the first one in the background, and that gonna ease a little bit. We can come back to do a little bit more changes to that, and let the color run, let it go to see how it's going to look like, and softly remove that. Now let's do a little lifting off on the top of the face, like over here, right? And put it shiny. So we're gonna just use this side. I'm gonna use changes to the round brush. Right. Now here you go. I'm gonna see. Just lift it up. Like this. But this is not the true color. It have a little bit more blue color, but we can do that after it dry. We can overlay a little bit blue colors and it will work. Like that. That's good. I'm also going to soften the edge over here. Let that go. Now, let's see. For now, let's put a little red color to the mouth. It may be too much. I'm gonna blend this color into this side. Okay. In here, we're gonna have a little warmer color up there. Just if it's warmer, I just put the red color here. See?
Oh, so I was trying to make sure these colors matched. You know, that was a big thing that I was doing.
I think you are too quickly going into smaller area comparison.
Yeah, right.
You might want to stay up like on the big shapes for a little longer and make sure you're happy with the big shape before you're going into the smaller area.
Okay.
Okay. And let's take a look. And maybe we're going to start with this shape. You see that under the nose, it needs to be a lot more clear underneath the nose. We don't want to look into nostril. Definitely in the photo, we don't see any nostril.
Right.
And the angle. So let's see. So we're gonna mix the new color. And the dark color basically with these two colors, but the thing is how warm, how cool that would be. Right? I'm gonna make this little blue color in here. I think this is pretty close to the color that we want. We want to mix the color well, so it's not gonna have some area darker lighter. So I'm gonna see underneath the nose, the shape. And on this side. Now this creates lots of contrast, sharp. But we're gonna put another color next to it. It would make it softer.
Okay.
But not at this point. We want to create this shape so that the nose would pop first. So let's take a look. We're gonna use the same color, maybe a little bit more blue underneath. So take this color. Okay, let's see. Right here. Now make it a little lighter as you're moving toward this side. And now we're gonna also brush through this shape. And this shape too, the corner of the mouth. And now we're going to use this same color and go into the upper lip of the mouth. Before you're thinking about what color is it, think about how dark the color would be. And then we think about the color warmer or cooler, and then we can decide on which color of the 3 primary colors should use more. Now you can see, the whole nose is pop. And let's continue on this side. This shape a little bit warmer, so I'm gonna get a little bit more red in the mixture. Okay, you go. Right, have it a little more. Continue on this side. Now, overlay wash to create the color. You're very much mixing the color right on the paper. Like this. And let the water run if they want to run. Okay, like that. This is the triangle. So you probably want to lift off this area. Have a little lighter and let it go. And this needs a little bit darker, but we're going to come back to do that later. Now we're going to focus on the bigger shape, the shadow. And down here have
warm color.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, a little bit red. Make it a little bit warmer. Now we're going to look into this area, this shape. And I'm going to blend that, and let's see. Now we're going to come back to the nose. I'm going to get a little red color. It just use the side of the brush, side brush. Ready? See this? Now they connected. Yeah. Now they connected. That probably a little less. Let go of that. And on the corner of the mouth, have a little bit shadow. So we're going to use a little dark color to glaze over. See this? Just make a shape over there. And let's see. Especially is you focus on the emotion and personality of the like that. How is that? Maybe a little bit warmer, just get a little red next to the mouth. Now it looks like this shape is not dark enough, but we can come around to fix it. Okay. Now we can come back to see the other part of the face. Now again, from time to time you want to lay back a little bit to see how it looks. You may, the detail of the eye looks pretty good, but inside the eye you won't see that much light.
Right, yeah, you would.
So we're gonna remove some of the light. But after this, the background settle, so you can see that it's a little bit too much. So, and then you can come back to see, okay, I'm going to soften this texture. You probably still want to keep some of the texture over here, but maybe soften a little bit. So don't change it right away, as let it go, and then we can come back to make modification. And that probably okay.
Yeah, I like
the little texture, yeah, put it over there. That is dripping, probably fine, you know. Maybe a little bit less. Just use the water, soften it. Like
yeah,
that.
I was afraid of drips.
No, this is the little thing. Focus on the big first.
Right.
The big shape, big relationship, big light and dark colors. and focus on those. And I think we're pretty close,
Yeah.
right? So let's see, we're gonna get to the little blue color as we talk about. Just glaze over so that color temperature changed, and also put that color over there, make it change too, like this. And a little bit more blue colors and put over this area too. So keep thinking about that, how light the color and what color is it, right? So let's also remove the shape. Now we get a little bit smaller now. The big shape we already have control. So we're gonna go in down to smaller shape. Let's see. And lots of people are afraid of eyeglasses, but it's not.
Right around here.
Yeah, that actually looks fine.
Okay.
The expression looks good.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like the personality is there.
It is there.
But it's not necessary to have 100% look like
exactly
every shape's there.
Okay.
So if you present the portrait, it look like him, feel like him.
Right, but it doesn't.
What else do you want?
I agree.
Right?
I totally agree.
Okay. Let's work on the eye area and get the eyeglasses in place. So let's see. The nose color's pretty good. Happy with that. Okay, now we're looking into the eye. So take this a little dark color and coming over here. Let's take a look at. Looks like the corner of the eye. We need to do some correction. It's probably looks like here. So this is coming up over here and coming through on this side. Okay, let's take a look. And inside the eye over here, it's pretty much, you won't see much difference inside other than just a shape. And people would use the imagination that is connected. Inside the things inside there, they know what is there. You don't have to tell them.
Okay, yeah.
You don't have to tell everything.
Yeah.
Okay, in here, the triangle, a little bit darker. Like that. And then connect to eyebrows. Now we come to the other side of the eye.
This really looks like him now.
It's how easy
Yeah.
to make changes. But it's lots of detail. You probably spend an hour into it.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So the big area, it is just the critical part.
Right.
Because
it is.
the big area, how to connect all those different shades, it actually create a feeling, present the structure of the person's face.
It does. I
Right.
see it more now.
Right.
Yeah.
Very important.
Right.
So now we're gonna go to this side and take a look at what's the corner of inside the eye.
It's
And you hold it probably a little bit too much to the right. It probably here. Looks like there. Even closer. Even more. Right here. You see? Straight it. Like that. And probably the face over here a little bit more straight. So probably not really getting that much right here. So that's good. Now let's reform this. The eyelid over there. Maybe the eyelid come down a little bit on this side, like this. Yeah, I leave a little bit space, a little bit more space on the left side. Now inside here, we're going to make it a little bit more less contrast, a little bit blurry inside the eye. But even though there's on this side and that side of the eyelid a little bit darker because the eyelid's curved. So we need to see the middle have a little lighter, the way it is good. But on the left side and the right side should be a little bit darker. So we can add that to it pretty easily. So let's add a little bit darker color inside here. Like this. Now underneath the eye, the lower eyelid. The lower eyelid, let's see what color. Like this, good. Now on the upper eyelid, we want to put a little bit of the warm color, like this will be the color, and put it there on one side, put it there on the other side. And we're gonna do it on the other side too, but it's not as warm as on the left eye. Yeah, a little bit blue. So put a little bit color over here, like that. It's good. And let's take a look at. I think we need a little bit clear because it looks like the lower eyelid here needs to be higher. So we're gonna wash it off a little bit more. Correct it. Like that. Just let it go. Now we're gonna put it back some warm color, also a bit of darker color, like this. Put it in here. So make it become part of the lower eyelid. How do you feel? And coming to the other side, and put a little bit darker, colder colors over here too, like this. Okay, and this will be there's a shape over here a little bit darker, like this. Okay. And we can also do a little lifting off on here for the reflection. Take a look. We have some reflection over here. But this reflection should not be so light, and also should have some blue colors. You can take a little blue. There's too much. We're gonna let go some of this. There's a little blue colors. You can put a little blue color here. See that? And that color definitely not coming from the front. It's coming from the side. Now we're gonna spend a little time on the mouth and see the catch the shadow from the top. We just take this color, good enough. Now you can see that is the area like this. There. And it's not clear enough. We want to make it a little clear by have this a little bit lighter in this area. Okay, you see that? A little clear. Underneath over here, we're gonna have a little bit cooler color and connect that. And on the, we can get a little warmer color right at this corner. It looks like we need a little bit darker color for the catch the shadow, but we can do that. Yeah. Now let's continue under the lower lid. We're gonna make this color a little bit darker. That's good color. Like that. See that? That's color. Now we're gonna take care of this edge because the face, the edge of the face come in a little bit more. So what we want to do, when I come back with the bigger brush, and also the consistency of the lighting coming from the side, we actually want to suggest it that's actually facing the same direction as that, So that's important. The little color cue can suggest the people, the viewer, that what area, what light or what plane and how it's facing to. So this one is facing to that direction. And over here, this color also facing this area, also facing to that direction. The same thing over here, this area also facing to that direction. The same thing over here too. And use this color cue to express. And then actually this area also facing to the same direction. Okay, now coming down. Now we're gonna come to correct the shape of the face. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna get a little bit, mix a new dark color, blue and red. Here we go. Now, let's take a look. And the shirt coming in like this. Coming in a little more. Let's see how you suggest the face, the shape of the face. Now a little bit clear.
Instead of doing the face, you do the shape of the clothing, right?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And when you put the shape in the right place, in the right value, the right color, the people's gonna connect all the things together.
Oh, okay. Yeah. With the shapes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
all we can do is shape. We cannot
Right.
recreate a person.
Right.
So
I'm still trying to create a person's.
now we try to make another code. Maybe just have remove that some texture, unnecessary texture. Okay, this is good. Now what we want to do, this actually also have the shadow coming down to this inside shirt.
Right.
So we need to have that too. And at the same time, we're gonna do the second coat for the lower part of this. It's pretty colder, and I get a little red. Like could be this is the colors. So I'm gonna try to have this color coming down, pretty dark. Like that. Look at the reference to collect some information. Okay, over here too, that's a little bit too much. We'll come back to fix it. And this color coming down like this into, and we're going to lift up. There's a little bit too much, so let go some of it. Still lift a little bit there, because we see that there adds a little turn. Get it down to there and make it keep a little turn of that. Maybe the contrast a little bit too much, like that. That's good. So I'm gonna keep that. And now we're gonna come in here to give a little bit turn over here. Also the cheek a little bit too light, right? So we're gonna darken a little bit. I'm gonna take this color. Let's see. Keep a little darker color, like this. Yeah, and then get a little bit blue color, merge into it. It's not so make it not so warm. And coming down here, that's good. Now coming over here all the way, like that, and coming to on this side. Now, that part will be good. Now what I want to do, the ears, we have not been spending much time on it. So we're gonna have the ear deepen a little bit, have a little bit darker. So I'm gonna take this color, make that color a little bit, maybe a little bit red, but need to be darker, like that. Maybe on the other side, we're gonna add the color to the ear too. So when I'm working on the left side of the ear, we think about the right side of the ear, how they compare together. like this. And that is the end of the suggestion of the ear. You don't have to say that much,
Right.
because the ear is in the back.
Right, yeah.
If you give the same attention, and they will be confused.
Right.
Think about the ear as actually the same level as the nose, right? That we have to force it. Now this is good. Now we're gonna go into take care of the eyeglasses. So first, what we want to do, we want to lift up some lighter shape. Actually, some lighter shapes right here. Start over here. It's very easy with the eyeglasses. After you have most of the shape already good. Let's take a look. Got that? Mm-hmm. Almost there. Now we're going to have a little highlight over here too for the frame. Gonna get that. What about on the other side? Over here, get it through like this. Lift it up. Okay, and I'm gonna clean up a little bit of the highlight on the eyelid. Like that. On top over here, I can glaze a little color. I don't think this is all so light. Glaze a little bit color over here, coming down. That's fine. Let's continue. Go back to finish the eyeglasses frame. Now the darker color, mix a little dark color with the red and the prism blue. Okay, that's good. Now let's see. And on here it has, let's see the middle right here. Okay. Now coming over here it has the eyeglass frame, and coming in here, and now connect to the frame here. And now on the other side. Okay, a little bit more blue color into the mixture. Okay, coming here. And now we add the frame on the side. And then connect to the ear. I think that is enough suggestion on this side. And we can lift up a little color in here. It's inside the frame here, a little lighter. This is kind of small area. You can use the round brush to lift it up like that. That's good. We can lift up a little bit highlight inside here too. Okay, and then coming up over here, continue. A little light. And maybe a little light over here too. Okay, that's probably good. Now we're going to come to the other side of the face, the other side of the glasses frame. Under here has a little catch the shadow, like that. A little bit dark color around the frame. Now we're gonna see, it also have the catch the shadow of the eyeglass frame on the nose, like that. Okay, now we're going to finish the eyeglass frame. Now, mix a little dark color. Now coming here, all the way. Now coming. a little colder color. I think too warm. Okay, like this. Okay. Now have a little lighter color. Connect that coming down. Good. Something like that. So the glass is there. What else do we need? I think on this side, on the side of the face, a little bit darker, a little bit. Right? So I'm gonna just glaze a little color with the bigger brush, just like this. So now you see the tip is only half of the size, right? Because we only needed that much. That's good. You see the shape turning to the other side.
And the shape is turning on the cheek a little bit.
Yeah, also here too. Make a little darker. So your attention get a little bit smaller and smaller into the smaller area. And over here too, you can see that. And at the up over here, we can get a little bit colder color inside here. I'm not sure that cold. Let me see, I add a little warmer color. Look at that area. We need to have that color in here too. And the head, his head, a little bit sharper. But then making sure this look like come out a little bit, too much.
Oh, it's too out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, because I see it's sticking out of his glasses. Okay.
Yeah, because here we need to remove some of the shade right here, so we can do the final adjustment on here. Just a little bit. Do a little bit adjustment. You see that? This will be good. Now we have to have this connect with the outside color. We don't want to have that much texture on the side. We're going to clean it up a little bit. Just use the side of the brush like that. Maybe a little bit of this color. Brush over like that. So it's good. A little bit smoother, but don't want this as we isolate it from the background color. And probably a good idea to remove some color right here. And now the tension over here much ease, and this is good. And I'm thinking about this could be a little higher because this shoulder.
I think so too.
Yeah, so let's make that higher as the final touch. So I'm gonna mix a little dark purple color. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, something like that. Now you can see the clothing is so simple.
Right.
So it's not distracting.
Right.
So over here should have also darker than up here. So let's make another coat of that. Like this. That's too warm. Let's make it a little colder. Coming like this. Like this. And what do you think?
I think looks great. I can see that I was focusing really on the little minor details of trying to get the color absolutely correct, instead of looking at the big shapes and seeing those colors contrasting each other.
Yeah, all we try to do is a relationship.
Right.
We try to build up the relationship. So, and the relationship itself, we present it as the object behind the shapes and the contrast and the values. Okay, we should not be too worried about if this is look like him.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
As soon as you capture the shapes, it will look like him.
Right. Yeah. And I kept worrying that it wasn't looking like him.
And also
so
you
then
have,
get lost.
you have less fun.
Right. Right. I get all stressed out.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the end of this special patron show and tell demonstration. If you are in Boston, I would love to see you and your artwork in person. See you next time, and thank you for your support.